Heading over to the Museum of Chinese in America to learn more about Chinese American history, heritage, and culture. That's right here, right now, on the Weekday Report. Welcome to the first December edition of the Weekday Report. Today we're going to the Chinese American Museum in Lower Manhattan to learn about this diverse culture group's culture, fashion, food, history, and as ever more Chinese immigrate to the Americas, this diverse cultural group's future. After transferring from the 5 to the Q at Barclays Center and taking the Q to Canal Street, after a short walk, we're finally on the museum's doorstep. That the Chinese Americans faced back in the day was symbolized in this toy pistol from 1879 to 1890. You see, when the toy pistol trigger is pressed, the man kicks the Chinaman in the rear, exploding the can. This is many of the stereotypical symbols for Chinese Americans in the late 1800s. And in this quote, as you can see below here, from Catherine Hubbard in Oakland, California, in around 1876, I do not know what the persecution of the Chinese will end in. I suppose the other states would not like to give up the Chinese trade. However, the Californians may resolve to drive them out of the country. It just goes to show that many people aren't comfortable with those who look different than them. To get work done, mainly laundry. There are old kettles and irons here, and even an old laundry press. This press, or box mangle, was used by a Chinese-owned laundry business to smooth out large pieces of clothing, and it was created by a company called Randall's that created specifically Chinese merchants. Now that's a very old but useful piece of machinery. Born in 1953, appointed in 2001 as the 24th U.S. Secretary of Labor. She was the longest-serving cabinet member in George W. Bush's administration. Or, for example, Bruce Lee, a martial arts artist and renowned actor. Or Jin Ayu-jeon, who became the first Asian-American rap musician to sign on to a major record label. All of these people are of Chinese descent, but the thing that unites them is that they did great things, and it really shows that people can persevere over the stereotypes bestowed upon them. Just look at these people. Finally, before we leave the museum, I think this is a pretty interesting place to see. This is a replica of a Chinese drugstore. It's kind of like an old convenience store in China. As you can see, there are all kinds of spices. You can get your passport stamped here. Over here, there's a post office. You can get herbal remedies at this station. Rice and spices at this station. And over here are some photos. What an average store would look like. It's kind of like the Far Eastern variety of your local convenience store. Amazing. We're walking back to the Chinese American Museum, and I took a lot away from this experience. Chinese Americans had to overcome discrimination, stereotypes, and ultimately racial violence to get where they are today. But instead of being a story of disaster, it's a story of perseverance. And it shows that any group of people, no matter where they come from, can be strong. Well, reporting for the Weekday Report, my name is Neillan Baptiste, and we'll see you next time. Have a great one. RHN Special Report returns this January, only to RHN, where excellent reporting is cultivated.